Welcome in, everyone, and welcome to Love to Travel with Wave. Yes, it's another terrific day. You know, uh, the sun is out, everything is going right. Hope everyone is waking up in the right mood, in the right place. I know sometimes, we might wake up, and certain things have just hit us the very first time we open our eyes in the morning. But we have to kind of like just breathe for a moment, take it in. You know how it is. Yeah, it's life. It's the word called life. Things happen. Absolutely. So, how's everyone's Sunday going? If you're in the chat, please give us a thumbs up. Also, drop a kind word. What's on your mind today? What would you like to talk about this morning? Here browsing through my community tab, seeing what you guys are saying. Yesterday we had pretty much a great day. We actually talked about the inner soul, the inner spirit. You know, the biggest part of you, the part of you that you kind of ignore most of the time, and you mostly deal with the physical part of you, and usually they're in battle, you're in battle with yourself and you don't know what is going on and everything like that. And it's pretty much have to do with that you need to align yourself. You need to have find that balance where you are not struggling with self, you know, and I do see one person watching. You can say hi. I don't bite at all. You can come in and say something, at least good morning. All right. So, also yesterday, and we may talk about it a little bit. I did a poll on, do you think that people in our community think that having a therapist might label them as being crazy, or it's just plain a taboo in our society? Hi, Sarara. How are you this morning? I'm going to bring you up just for a minute just to get to know you. It seems like you're new to the channel. Can you just show your face? I would like to see you just to see who you are. I see a picture, but I can't clearly see because it's like a dot. Yes. Yeah. If you could just show your face a bit and just wave to me and I can see who you are, that would be great. Say, Saira. All right, before I bring you up. All right, if you could kindly do that for me. Yeah, I like to see who's coming on live with me, just to get a picture of whoever it is. Yeah, so Saria, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you very much. Welcome to Love to Travel with Wave. We discuss many topics, and we also I see you're having some kind of problem. Yeah. Okay. You're going in and out there. All right. So we're going to bring you up for a couple minutes and let's see what you have to say.
Hi,
Hi. Good morning. How are you?
I am fine. What about you?
I'm great. Yeah. So where are you hailing us from?
I am from Pakistan.
Oh, okay. So you know SA.
Yes.
Okay. So how is it in Pakistan today?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. So what tell us a little bit about your channel. What is your channel all about?
Uh, it's a vlogging channel. My mother do a vlogging on it in Urdu. It's her national language. So I wanna say that. Can you give me a shout out, please?
Oh, sure. Yes, 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 yes. Definitely everyone who comes in the chat, Saira is new to our channel and we asked you to go on over, check out her content and subscribe to her channel. You know, become a family, because we all need to, connect with each other. Especially globally, we can learn so much about each other in terms of culture and everyone's way of life, you know? Because I'm from the Caribbean and I live here. I reside in Florida, but I love to get to know other people and their cultures and, get a perspective on how people live daily. So, what is your favorite food, Sahira?
My favorite food is a Pakistani food, and it's called biryani. And
Oh,
actually, first of all, I wanna thanks to you.
okay, so what do you do in your spare time? Like, what, what is there to do in Pakistan? If someone was to come to visit Pakistan, what are some of the fun things that they can do, or in terms of learning your culture?
And there, you can play the cricket as well because the national ground of the Pakistan, in it's for free. Like you can visit there and go there to play cricket. And there are many sports like hurdle jumpings. They can also teach you that, and other Olympics also.
Okay, all right. So,
And I'm
okay.
also a football player.
So, are you also doing Ramadan as well?
Yes.
Okay, so when did you first started doing Ramadan? At what age?
12 year.
M-
At
12 year.
12?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm a little bit familiar with it. Essay and I talked about it yesterday. And and how do you feel about Ramadan? How does it make you feel spiritually? Like, after the 30 days, or, you know,
It
is
feels good like every day we eat a lots of food, so it is good for those who eat always food. Like if they are fat now, so they can do the fast and it control your diets as well. It is very helpful for you.
okay, so it's helpful for you spiritually.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm thinking about doing it for a day. I just want to see, I'm going to challenge myself to do it for a day. I did experience it when I was in Africa, but I have friends who are Muslims and they do it every year. But I said I'm going to try it maybe for a year not a year, a day, to see what it's like, you know, to not
Yeah.
to eat for 14 hours, because that takes a lot of discipline. Wouldn't you say that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, you can do the fast as well, but if you wanna just start like that, so you can start as well as a. There are two types of it. Like there is a full day, and there is a three half of it. Like
Oh,
the first will be open on Fajr to Isha, and the second will be open on Isha to Maghrib.
okay. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do it like on for one day and see how I like it, you know, because it seems like it's something that teaches you a lot of discipline, and also it can help you with patience, like
Yes.
having a lot of patience, and it challenges you to do, to go to your furthest extent, like, just challenging yourself. And that's a lot of people have, especially here where I am, and especially when people are exercising or they take on a task, or whether it's a diet, people it's very hard for people to do those things. So I think, this part of your culture gives people, the discipline that they need, and also cleansing their bodies, because we put so much stuff in our bodies, and we don't give our body a break, and we don't give our spirit a break. So I think it's a very, very good part of your culture, and I love it.
Thank you.
All right.
Actually, the Ramzan and the fast is the meaning. The meaning of the Ramzan is actually to patience. The meaning,
Oh,
and in every fasna, we have the test of patience is done by ourselves, and our God says that. If you had passed this test now, so you are enabled
Uh,
to patients in every field of life.
okay. So then we're just, like I tell everyone, please go to Sahira's channel. I've been over there, and you can learn a lot about one's culture and everything that's going on in their country. Do not rely on the media solely to tell you about one's story, because everybody has their story, and they are the ones that can tell it better than anyone else. So we just want to thank you, Sahira, for being here today. Enjoy your evening over there in Pakistan. I know it's evening, but it's morning here. And I
Thank you.
thank you so much for coming on our platform this morning. All right.
Thank you.
Have a great evening. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right, later. All right. So we had a guest here. She's new to our channel, Sahira. If you go, you can check her channel out, connect with her. She seems to be a very inspired young lady. In terms of her culture, she's been doing it for since she was 12. She's been doing Ramadan. Um, and I enjoyed speaking to her. These are the things that we do at Love to Travel with Wave. We spread the love globally, and it's all about love. Absolutely. So I'm kind of looking through our community tab. We're going to look at our community tab. Let me get in there. Like I was saying, in our community, a lot of times, people think that by going through therapy, that you have a mental problem, or it's taboo, you're crazy. So we had 19 votes on our community tab. Hey, love it. I mean, people are really actively going to the community tab. It's a great tool for us to connect and everything like that. So, 84% of people say yes, that our communities do think that when you go to a therapist, you're crazy, or it's just plain taboo. And 16% of people say no. I would really like to talk to those people and find out why are they saying that. Okay, so some people may ask what taboo is. So taboo is actually a social or religious custom prohibiting or forbidding discussion of a particular practice, or forbidding association with a particular person, place, or thing. Hey, Ben, good morning. How are you on this Sunday morning? What's going on with you this morning? And Shawnee says, yes, especially the older generation. My mom says all the time, who do therapists go to when they need to talk to? So she's saying the therapist is taking care of us, but who do they go to for consoling? I would think that they go to maybe other therapists, colleagues, and stuff like that. I would think so, you know? Yeah, absolutely. And she says she thinks they can't help her. Going to a therapy was one of my best choices I ever made, right? And then someone, Finis the Don, which is one of our subscribers here, he said that, you know, mental health is the key. And I responded, absolutely never a taboo. So Sahira, she said, it's a very big pleasure to talk to you. A very big thanks to you and all other friends. So, guys, Ben, whoever's in the chat, please grab Sahira. She sounds like, she's very, enthusiastic about her channel and, the type of content. And it's also good, to go out and mingle with people and connect with people that are on YouTube. I'm good. Cheers. How are you? I'm doing great, Ben. Did you get over your little hangover last week? I'm sure you did. And what did you do to get over your hangover, Ben? I would like to know because maybe there are some people today suffering from a hangover. You know, some people say they drink a Bloody Mary or something, I've heard in the past, you know. So yesterday we had a great conversation, I guess. Let me see if Shawnee is up because Shawnee and I are supposed to be talking about mental health and also seeing a therapist. Is it a taboo or not? You know. Ben, have you ever been to a therapist? I'm just asking. I don't want to be in your business, but I just want to get everyone's view on what they think about getting a therapist. Yes, so I'm going to send her a message. Because she said she goes to a therapist, and, sometimes people look down on stuff like that. Yeah. All right. So this morning, what am I going to be doing? Actually, I am going to rest a lot. Um, Actually, I'm going to be resting a lot because yesterday my blood pressure was very low. I do suffer from that. I have low blood pressure, and sometimes I have to put a little salt in some water and kind of get it up to where I said. Ben says, aha, yes, I got over it. I'm pretty used to it by now. Maybe not the best thing to be saying. I went on the punch bag to get over it, and I haven't been to a therapist before. Wow. Okay. Good tips, Ben. Thank you. Yes. A lot of us have not, because I believe some people feel like maybe they don't need to go to a therapist. But sometimes when life gets so overwhelming, and yes, you can talk to your family, but sometimes your family can be so judgmental. Your friends can be very judgmental as well. So, what do you do? I think sometimes it's good to speak to someone that is neutral, someone that doesn't know you, does not know the problem, and that person is looking from the outside. And to me, they can actually assess something better. That's just me personally. Some people might say, hey, God is our therapist. Yes, because, you know, God is in you. So, like I was talking about yesterday, that a lot of times people kind of ignore their inner voice because your inner voice kind of tells you where you need to be and what you need to be doing. Absolutely, right? So, I am like just saying that, you know, therapy is a good thing. It's there's nothing wrong with having a therapist. I personally, in all my 55 years, I have never been to a therapist. In school, yes, we used to have counselors. Yes, maybe for I remember in elementary school, we had our counselors, like you would go and speak to your counselor, um, whether it's about, your grades or different things. But also, our counselors also mentored us and spoke to us if we were having problems at home or anything like that. So, Ben is saying, I think it's good to give yourself therapy, but I like to listen to people that I can relate to. I think that's therapeutic. Of course, therapy can come from anywhere. You know, it can come from a close friend, a family member, it can come from a religious member. Um, it can come from so many different um, areas, but sometimes we may need someone that is pretty much outside the box. Someone who doesn't know you, someone who doesn't, know anything about you, but can listen and can listen to you and then after can give you an assessment of what they heard, not necessarily trying to tell you what you need to do, but actually giving you an insight of what they heard. You know what I'm saying? Because it, like Ben, I see Ben here all the time here. I don't physically know Ben, but if I come around Ben and I observe certain things that he may not be even be aware of, but maybe one day he comes and he tells me he has a problem and this is what's been going on and whatnot. This is the perfect time for me to say, look here, I'm not judging you, but this is what I have been observing about you, you know? And I can actually tell him like, hey, you know what I notice is that every time you go to the toilet, I'm just using that as a reference, you leave the seat up, right? So then, you know, he might not be, aware of what he's doing because maybe he has so much on his mind, that what he's doing, it's repetitious, but he doesn't really think about it, that it's annoying to the other person. You know what I'm saying? So here he is complaining, oh, she's always telling me I leave the toilet seat up and blah, blah, blah. And it's annoying to him that she tells him this all the time. But the thing about it is, mentally, it probably is not clicking with him, that he's doing this all the time. Yes. So it's always good to get someone's perspective from the outside that has no relation to you. Yes. So could a bad habit because of stress or something? Yes, I think so. Yes. You ever see people pick their noses? I see people do that in public all the time. It might just be something, to me, it's a bad habit. It's a nasty habit. I think so. But, or they twiddle their thumb. Um, could it be a sign of nervousness? Could it be a sign of it makes them feel comfortable, and stuff like that? You know, um, it lowers the stress level when they do these things. Maybe, you know, because there are times I see people sit down and they're just shaking their legs, and some other person might say, you need to stop shaking your legs. Hi, Anisha. Hi, Shani and Ben. I agree. Relating to people, you can relate to this therapeutic. Yes, that's what Shani's saying. Let's welcome Shani. Let's also welcome Anisha. Good morning. Oh, you're heading to work? Are you still doing the delivery thing? I forgot what it is, but I know. Are you still doing that, Anisha? I haven't seen any videos on it. How's that going? Yeah. So, Shawnee, let me see if I can send you a link and maybe you can join us and just kind of tell us briefly, like, what's going on, because she's taking therapy and she loves it, and she said it's very therapeutic and stuff like that. And I think a lot of times, a lot of us, we don't want people to know, hey, we went to see a therapist. No, that's taboo. That's, oh my God, you've done the ultimate sin, you know? Um, I think people think like that. And then you think like, what are people going to think of me? They're going to think that I'm crazy or something is wrong with me and people are going to treat me differently and in the workplace, in church, in my family, um, and stuff like that. Oh, so if one day, like, there's just an outburst or something, somebody will say, well, I always know she was crazy because she used to go to a therapist, and you know how people go. But this is where you don't care what people think, because of the fact is, This is for you. This is your healing. This is for you to get less stress off of you. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Benson, it's a weird one, but football is a massive thing here in Scotland, and I'm very passionate. And when my team loses, I take it personal to listen to podcasts of supporters talk about for therapy. Let me tell you, um, I am a big football um, fan, and my team is Chelsea. I love Chelsea, and I have seen so many things over the years in Europe. I think I went to a Chelsea game here in Miami, and they have die-hard fans from around the world. People from everywhere came to see Chelsea play in Miami that year. And I was like, wow, these people are passionate, they're dedicated. And let me tell you, if they lose, you will see people go bananas. They will throw things, they will cuss, they will, I mean, it just, and I'm looking at it. I mean, I love Chelsea. When they win, even when they lose, I am like, okay, next time we're going to do better. And I continue watching the charts and everything like that, right? And and that's my whole thing on it, because even though I am passionate and blues for life and this for life, but we cannot allow things to take over our entire lives, these institutions. You know what I'm saying? Because when you go beyond being a fan and beyond being passionate, yeah, you gotta have therapy. Even the players, you've worked all year, you have put in all the time, the effort, and everything, and at the last minute, that last second, you could not do it, right? You need therapy. I'm sorry. You do. Because it's like you have felt, you feel, you have, within yourself, you feel like you have failed. And that's what we talked about yesterday, failure, right? And the results from failure. You have to tell yourself, okay, I've worked hard, I've given it my all, but guess what? There is the next season. The next season, we're coming out. I'm gonna look at all the replays, just like I do on YT. When I'm finished with this live, I replay it, listen to the things that I could have said, what I didn't say, what I shouldn't have said, or whatever it is. I actually go through those things. So what it does is it prepares me to do a better job. You understand? And to so that my next live I'm on point. Yeah, it's not going to be perfect, but at least I'm not taking failure. I'm not saying I'm a failure. No, I am improving on my skills, you know? All right, no problem. No problem, sweetie. Yeah, so yes. Uh-huh. My dad's from London and he's a Chelsea supporter. Of course. Yes, that's my team. But if they lose, I have seen them lose to teams that you don't even know their names. And I'm like, what? You know? But I'm like, next Sunday we're gonna kick I forgot that other team we're always rivaling with. We're gonna kick their butt. You know what I'm saying? So I'm preparing myself from that for that actually. You know? So that's what I'm saying. It's like when you fail at something, you pick yourself up. I know it hurts, it takes time, it's a process, but you have to tell yourself, you know what? Like yesterday, I said, I want to be a football player, but I need to learn how to catch the ball, right? That's American football. So if I drop the ball the first time, I have to say, you know what? Hey, buddy, come on over, throw that ball again. Next time, I caught it. You know what? I didn't give up. Yeah, we start creating all these fears and failures in our spirit, and then all of a sudden we start using all the words can't. Yes. Anisha says, my little ones are going to therapy and grief group because of the passing of their big brother on New Year's Eve, and it's helping some. Anisha, I'm sorry for your loss. Yes, I am. And I'm glad that you are getting them therapy. Yeah, we need that. Some people are like, I can heal myself. But you know what I realized? Because one of my lives that I was listening to, I had a friend who passed away in 2004. And that's 18 years ago. Very good friend of mine, right? And guess what happened? I was telling the story live on YouTube, and I started crying. A lot of times we think that just pushing things away and say, hey, we got just forget it. And then we think we actually forget it till something reminds us of that day, that time in our lives, and we find out we're not completely healed from that particular issue. Yes. Yes, Anisha, I'm so sorry about that. If I didn't say it, I did. I know previously, but I know that can be, when you lose someone, it's very hurtful, and therapy does help, and the support of your family does help as well. Yes. She says it's been hell of a year. Thank you. Yeah. And the thing about it is when that person's birthday roll around, the holidays, or maybe there's someone in the family that laughs like them or probably walks like them, or there is something that just constantly reminds you of that person. So sometimes we do need someone to talk to. We do need that family support. You know, it's okay to go and sit on someone's couch, a perfect stranger, and that person can listen and see where your pain is coming from, where your stress is coming from. Sometimes we don't realize where our pain is coming from because it can be something that happened to you while you were a child. And deep in your, like I tell people, all the time, your your computer, your brain is your computer, and it retains so many things, things that you would not think that you would ever remember or think about. You understand? So let's say good morning to Shawnee. Sean, turn
Good
down your,
morning.
yeah, because we're getting a little feedback, huh? Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, you sound better now, I think.
hmm
Yeah. Well, you sound like you were sleeping, honey. Did I wake you up?
I mean, I did wake up 30 minutes ago.
Oh, well, good morning. Happy Sunday.
Not 30 minutes ago, maybe about like 45 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yesterday I was kind of like under the weather. I'm still, I suffer sometimes, I'm not no ashamed to say I suffer from low blood pressure. Sometimes my blood pressure goes down real low, and because I don't use a lot of salt or eat a lot of salt, so
hmm
I had to kind, take a little salt, dab some underneath on my tongue to put
hmm
my pressure back, because the bottom part, I think my pressure was 99/50, and that's very low. and then it went to 73 over 40. Yeah, we're getting a little feedback from you.
I hear it too, and I honestly don't know why.
Are you on your phone or on your
I
tablet?
am.
Yeah, I think
I
when
mean,
you,
I could get my laptop and would assume it would probably work better.
yeah, I think when you're on your laptop, it works so much better. Yes.
Yeah, but let me. All right, let me come off of here and start my
Yes.
laptop.
Okay, thank you so much, my
All
dear.
right.
All right. Okay. Yeah, so yesterday that's how I was feeling, and this morning um I'm still in, recuperating from all of this. Yeah, and I'm just sharing it with you, and I jumped on um the on Google, and I'm like googling, low blood pressure, and sometimes it can relate to hypertension. And sometimes when you have low blood pressure, it means that there's not enough blood going to the brain, and that can cause a problem. So I have to learn how to cook more with salt. I don't like too much salt in my food, but you have to find a balance in terms of food, and sugar and salt when you're applying these things. So, because of that, today I couldn't really go to work because um, I feel a little woozy, a little dizzy sometimes. So, I just have to relax today and make sure I take care of myself today. Yes. Good morning, Miss V. How are you? Welcome to the chat. Today we are kind of talking about therapy and how do people in our community relate to getting therapy, especially in these times. We just been through the big CV, and a lot of people lost loved ones. A lot of things are happening. And Shawnee is going to come up in a few, and because she does takes therapy as well, and she was saying it was one of the best things that ever happened to her. Some people say, why do I have to, kind of go and speak to a perfect stranger? Sometimes we just want someone who's away from the equation. That's how I look at it. Someone who doesn't have anything to do with the situation. And I think you will get a better perspective on what's really going on. And a lot of times there are things that has happened to us, has traumatized us maybe in our childhood, and we can remember because we have tucked it away so far that we cannot remember, but it shows through our actions daily, the habits that we have, and different things like that. Because sometimes when you if you go to a therapist and you stay there, you can actually, she'll probably, I'm not a therapist, I'm not licensed, but I'm sure they will take you back to, a time, when you felt a certain way, and, you know, and what triggers that, and, in your present life, and stuff like that. Because there are things, there's this, I said this on a video, there is this thing about me. I remember, saying to myself that I will always keep that little girl in me, you know what I'm saying? Because I always felt that that is the true me, So I never wanted to forget that little girl in me, you know? And I know the reason why, because that little girl keeps me grounded, keeps me humble, and also has so much love in her heart. And also she um she makes me feel in a time in my life when I felt so protected, sorry. Miss V is saying, I got therapy 20 years ago when I lost my first pregnancy. Had emergency surgery to save my life due to being ec- ectopic. Oh my God. Thank you so much for sharing that. Sorry about your loss. And it's so refreshing to know that you're here today to share that story with us. So there's a lot people go through, but I have heard it, even in my childhood when you would hear your grandparents, your mom, the different things, and they would say, "Oh, they went to a psychiatrist because they are crazy." You know, crazy people go to psychiatrists or go to a therapist. Yeah. And you have that in your mind. So now when you really need the help because of stress or anything going on in your life, um, you remember those words, you know, and you have to kind of muscle up the strength to say, look here, it's not about what my grandparents said or my community thinks this is a taboo or whatever the case is. I need help. And I need to go and find out where this is coming from. Yes. Ms. V is saying therapy is a great thing. Someone outside of family and friends who can help you see things clearly. Yes. Yes. And there is nothing shameful about it. And sometimes people need a little bit more than just pray it away. I agree. I give that a thumbs up. Yes, Shawnee is ready for us. And let's see. Are you there, Sean?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I saw you. And I can hear you.
I'm so tired.
Oh, what did you do last night?
First of all, can I just tell you? So I actually messaged you last night and I deleted the message.
I was sleeping, and the reason why is because, like I said, my blood pressure was down and I was trying to deal with it.
Yeah.
And then I was in bed, actually. I was trying to get rest to see if I could make it to work, but I did not make it to work this morning because, you know, I just wasn't feeling 100% in terms of, going to work because I think it would have just made me worse. You
No,
know,
I understand.
yeah, and my company is pretty they're pretty, I won't say relaxed, but very understanding, especially when someone is ill. And I'm someone I do not call out at all, and for me to call out, it has to be a situation. But I'm sorry I missed your message.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't have seen it because I deleted it. So
Oh,
what
okay.
happened was me. First of all, I took this nap yesterday,
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm getting feedback right now, but I'll keep talking. I took this nap yesterday, and I must have woke up somewhere around the 6 o'clock hour or so. And I
At
mean, I took this nap from like pretty early. Um,
about noon.
I'm actually about to check. I'm gonna tell you exactly when
Wow.
because it was around the time I was talking to my brother.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just gonna see if I can find it. Um, I think it was around. Okay, so around 3 o'clock, I spoke to my brother. No, it wasn't around 3. I think it was around 12. Oh my gosh, it was like 12.
Wow.
Um, what's today's date? The 24th? Okay, wait, I'm tripping. It was around 1 o'clock. So 1 o'clock, I spoke to my
Okay.
brother. He's like, call me back in 10 minutes. when you when he told me to call him back in 10 minutes, that was it.
Maybe you were tired.
I was, and honestly, I just was sleeping, sleeping, sleeping. It was like until after 6. And then I got up and then I decided, I said, you know what? I'm kind of hungry. And I was looking at like Jamaican restaurants nearby to get food. And then most of them was closing already, like within an hour. So I was like, I'll just go to the market to go buy something. So I went to the market. I got home like around 8. And then I messaged you and I said, "Hey, are you going live tonight? Can you hold off until 8:30 so I can get the pot on the stove?" Wait, last night was the longest night of my life. Like, I don't
Wow.
know what happened last night. Like, literally don't know what happened. Like, I didn't get the pot started till about 9:15, and then it's like everything was just taking so freaking long. I probably
Wow.
finished cooking at 11.
You know what? The only time in my life I can think something like that happened, and I don't mean to, talk about death or anything like that, but I remember my friend when he passed in 2004, and the last date that we went to the movies. And when we got from the movies, it was like the longest ride in the world. It's like this ride would not finish. I could remember it. It's like we talked about everything. And it was so funny that the movie that we watched was, I don't know if you ever seen that movie with DMX, and he's in the casket. I forgot the name of it. And he's telling a story on how he died. I think what's
Is
her
it
name?
which one, Belly or Never Die Alone?
Never Die Alone. Yes. And I after the movies we had a great time, and then I'm taking him home, and we're having this conversation. Actually, we were having a conversation, and there was this friend of mine's at that time, and I was talking about something to him, and he said, "All I need you to do is to," he says, "keep your enemies very close to you." That was his words to me. And we're riding down a street that, from the movie theater to his house takes about 15 minutes. I kid you not. This ride felt like I was leaving from Orlando coming down to Miami. And it's like and then when we got to his house, he hugged me, and then he left my car. He turned around and he told me goodbye. And that was the last time I saw him. I swear I was in a movie. I swear,
Wow.
and when I think about it, I was like, wow, he was actually telling me goodbye. And I could see it right now because every time I think about him, I think about that last, and it was the longest ride. So I kind of understand what you're talking about.
Man,
Yeah, it was, yeah. So I
I'm gonna
could,
come on video. I probably look horrible. I'm so tired.
you never look
And
horrible.
I'm in bed too, so like if y'all see like my background like this is because the laptop is on my pillow and
Girl, ain't nobody study you.
I'm just letting y'all know
You-
because oh my gosh,
it's
I'm tired.
morning. It's morning, and we,
Morning, Michelle.
hey,
I said Michelle. See, I'm messing up people's
Rochelle, good
names.
morning. I
Morning,
love you.
Rochelle.
I saw your short video. Love it. Spreading the love, self care. So we were here, I know you heard part of it. We were talking about therapy, and how, in our community, how, people think it's taboo and all of that. Miss V also shared a story about, her pregnancy, and how her first pregnancy, and how, um, she had to be rushed to surgery to save her life, after that. And she 20 years ago, she saw a therapist, and she don't think that it's taboo, or it's a bad thing, that it is a great thing that you can sit down, with someone who can, who pretty much, is not related to you or knows you, and can listen and kind of like, give you an assessment, not tell you exactly like, hey, you should go and do this or that or anything, but they can give you the tools that you need so that you can heal. So Sean has also, and I think still going to therapy, and you can share with us what that has been like. um, Before that, Ms. V also has a statement. She says the therapy I received years earlier helped me deal with subsequent pregnancy losses. Today is my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, mom! And my second one without her. She sent beautiful sunshine this morning. My heart smiles. Oh, happy birthday to your mom and wishing her the best, of course. And I'm glad that you are here to tell your story because it's such a beautiful story, Miss V. And I hope that it can encourage a lot of us that are stressed in going through the motions and everything that, hey, there are different tools out there, sometimes, yes, a lot of us, like my mom, that, the older generation, they will say that, you just got to get on your knees and start praying. Yes, all of that is a part of the therapy, but sometimes you got to reach out to people or reach out, use other tools to get the healing that you need. So we're going to go to Sean, and Sean, you're going to tell us about your experience in terms of going to therapy.
Morning, Big Daddy.
Hey, Big Daddy, how are you? Yes,
Um, I'm so tired.
I know you're tired.
I'm just telling you right now. I know my laptop is slanted. It's on my pillow, guys. Just bear with me.
It's
Um,
okay.
so as I've mentioned to Wave and as I've commented that I'm in therapy, I still am Wave. Um,
Okay.
I started going March 9th because my grandmother was sick. Um, I currently don't really know her condition now because I kind of just took myself out of the equation. But my grandmother found out my grandmother had cancer, and I'm not even close to my grandmother at all. The problem was talking to my mom. She kept bringing a lot of the drama, and like her and her siblings kept fighting over stuff, and I'm like, why do y'all keep fighting when she's not dead? God forbid, right? So they pretty much just kept doing a lot of that, and it kept affecting me because I was like, what is
Okay.
wrong with you people? Like you guys are arguing and this lady is alive, and
Exactly.
so one day I logged into work and I asked my manager, can we meet? And as I started talking to her, as she got on the video, I started bursting into tears, and I basically just started telling her how like I'm really struggling, and I just wanted her to know if I'm not myself for like the next 2 weeks, this is what's happening. So she recommended that I try this thing called Plush Care. Um, and Plush Care, sorry guys for the movement. As I explained, I'm on my pillow. um, Plush Care is a what would you call it?
Maybe it's a type of benefit that you're.
Benefit. That's the word.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
um, Plush Care is a benefit that um we have at work where you get 12 free therapy sessions, you get 12 free, I think, doctor visits, virtual, all that stuff. Um and that's aside from insurance. So like your insurance obviously has something, but Plush Care is like free. With insurance at some point you have to pay something. So my manager at the time recommended that I went to try Plush Care. They have therapy, and I can talk to someone, it may help. So at first I was just kind of like, because I have a friend, so kind of backtracking, I have a friend who goes to therapy. She's been going for probably like a year now or so, and she tells me about it, and she's always like, maybe you should try a therapist, and I've always kind of been reluctant, like, nah, I don't need one. Like,
Like everybody else.
yeah, like I've always been like, I know what's wrong with me. I know my problems. Like I know um what's wrong, and I know like what I need to do to try to fix it. Like that's how I was thinking, right? So I just never really went to one until like I needed support during this whole thing with my grandmother. And so I decided to start going. I reached out to them. Um great thing about Plush Care is that I wanted to talk to a female. Obviously, the obvious reason why I wanted to talk to a woman. Um, you can talk to whoever you want to talk to, but I wanted to talk to a woman. They were I was lucky enough to be able to get one, and I started meeting with her. And I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. I was ready to cancel that first appointment. I was ready to not show up to that first appointment because
Why? Why?
I was like, why the heck am I going here? I don't want to be talking to nobody. I don't know what to expect. Like, I'm not into it. And every week I look like forward to going. But I'm not gonna lie. And as soon as I got on the video with her, and I think all she needed to do was say hello, and I started crying.
Okay, so would you say that you were fearful of going to the therapist?
Yeah, I didn't want to talk to nobody. Like, I
Yeah.
not just that, I didn't want to face my emotions again, and I
Okay.
knew I was going to, and I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want nobody questioning me. I didn't want anyone trying to break down and make sense of anything. Like, I just didn't want to do it. And that first appointment, I started crying, and like, even I think towards the end, she even excuse me, sorry, she even gave me some assignment or something. And I must have said, or before she gave it to me, I think I made a comment about like, oh, I'm not gonna go write in no notebook, and I'm not gonna like, write thoughts out and whatever. You're very reluctant. I will just say that you're very reluctant because it's new for you and you don't know what to expect. And
But you're
sometimes it doesn't take a long time to figure out why you feel the way you feel or whatever. But yeah, I pretty much just started going, and now I look forward to going every single week. Um, what I can say is that it's not what you think. It's not someone who's there to judge you, to tell you that you're wrong or tell you that you messed up, or to, baby you and coddle you. They're just real with you. You hear a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm one of the realest people you ever met." No, they're not real. Everybody who says I'm a realist, they're not a realist. They just trying to convince themselves. Um, if you're a real person, you don't have to convince somebody that you're real. But
absolutely.
a therapist, is definitely one of those people. Unbiased opinions, unbiased conversations. They
Mm-hmm.
tell you like it is. Because they're on the outside looking in. Um, they're pretty much there to just basically help you along the way, and it's like an onion. Unlike an onion has many layers, as we all know. Excuse me. From you cook, an onion has layers. Um, so yeah, like that's pretty much what therapy is. Yeah,
I
that's what therapy is. So like I said, I look forward to going every week because I have somebody that I can talk to. She doesn't judge me. She listens to the situation. She's an observer, right? Because most times when we're online, we're interpreters. We're not observers. We're ones trying to make sense of what's happening. But going to a therapist, they're the ones who's observing, like the friend on the outside looking in. But sometimes when you have friends or family trying to tell you things, it comes off as harsh and aggressive. And we're less prone to listen and hear them out when they're being that aggressive or not taking the right approach.
yeah.
Somebody who's a therapist, we would listen because it's like they're not being aggressive, they're not being rude, or they're not being very like,
I guess because friends and families are trying to give you that tough love kind of
and
thing.
that don't always work in the right
and
way.
and sometimes, sometimes that's not what people want. Sometimes someone just
And
wants you
need.
to listen. They don't want you to judge them. They just want you to listen. And after you listen to it, you don't have to judge them, but you can say, well, this is what I'm hearing you say, you know and just observing. And I think that's what a therapist does. you know
Yeah.
they're pretty, and that's what I said. Sometimes you have to find someone that's away from the equation, you know and they can assess it, they can listen, they can observe, and they won't be judging you like, well, you didn't wash the plates right. You didn't do it. No. They're going to tell you to find ways for you to deal with your situation, better ways of dealing with it, So sometimes it's good to listen when someone comes like da, 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 like they're aggressive, maybe something traumatic happened to them. So like we said yesterday, you just got to pull yourself away, listen to what they have to say, and you know you can give your opinion, but sometimes they don't even want your opinion. Sometimes they just want someone to listen. Yeah.
Let me explain something, guys. I have one sister, five brothers. I'm the youngest out of all of them. Um, my sister gives a lot of unsolicited advice. Anytime she talks, I don't want to hear it because she's always just, those people who just give that opinion that just is not needed. She's one of those,
Exactly.
or it's just like, did you even like? You can even explain something to her why you can't do something, and she's still telling you to go do the very same thing why you said you can't do it. Like, she gives a lot of unsolicited advice. Like, I'm 32. Ever since I was about 20 years old, I've been telling her she gives too much unsolicited advice. And I've been telling her that she's always trying to push her opinion and everything else on people, and she needs to stop doing that. I've been telling her she's gotten a little better, but she still kind of does it every now and then because she can't help herself. And then I still have to put her in check. I have a friend who the other day I had to tell her, so my friend, she thinks she's always right. And I had to basically tell her,
Mrs. Right.
right, I have to tell her, listen, when I tell you something when it comes to men, relationships and men, I need you to try to actually realize and recognize what I'm saying and understand why I'm saying what I'm saying and understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. She has a boyfriend who talks her into everything and basically has trained her mind to think like him. So she has very unpopular opinions when it comes to dating and men and women. So I had to let her know, and she's like, so basically you want me to just agree with you? And I said, that's not what I'm saying. I want you to find, she has a hard time
She needs
with,
to find her own. She needs to have her own opinion, and not the opinion of what her boyfriend has trained her to think.
and that's when I try to say to her, and she tried to deny it. That's not true. I don't always have his opinion. Yes, you do, because you've said it to me that you basically think the way that he's trained you. You've said it to me in so many words. But also, she does not know when somebody is doing BS in her face. She can't recognize it. She's always assuming good intent and always trying to assume the best out of people. And I had to tell her, like, well, okay. And I had to just come out and say, well, with me, don't agree with no man when you talk to me. And it sucks that I had to come out and say it like that, because she's like, just say that you want me to agree with you. And I said, well, I don't want you to give your opinion, and don't back no man when you talking to me, because you legit do not know how to recognize when you should be like, why you should not back certain conversation, like why you shouldn't, like, she does not know how to break stuff down and recognize it. And for me, it's better for her to just not say nothing to me, like, because you struggle with even analyzing and breaking it down. So like for me, like I said again, I just told her,
So technically, she does not have her own opinion of things,
she
and
doesn't, and every time it's her
and
boyfriend.
she does not understand whatever it is that is going on, whether it's a topic. She doesn't have her own opinion. She is basing it off of someone else's thoughts or opinions. That's what I'm getting from this.
And it's so annoying because,
Okay.
again, like I said, for me it's just like, you need to be able to call BS. Like, if somebody is doing something, you need to be able to recognize it. And she cannot recognize it to save her life. Like, everybody is, oh, nobody means harm. And everybody is, stop. Like, you don't know how to, and she struggles with it.
So
But
maybe
again,
maybe she puts everybody in the same pot.
and
She
she
thinks,
does, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
everybody she puts and makes it seem like everybody assumed good intent, and I just had to basically tell, and like I said to her, just back me. I don't want to hear nothing, because sometimes when she's assuming good intent for the wrong people and guys who like it, and I'm a female, so I'm talking about guys. It could be women too, everybody, but like if you're a man, and this could be for women as well, like some people literally play with you in your face. Like some people will really play with you in your face, and will really, you need to call like, and for me, like I said, for her to make it seem as though like, well, you could have done this differently, you're making it seem like I'm not trying. Like, and this person is just completely being an a-hole. Like, and she does not know how to recognize that that person is being a complete a-hole. So I had a friend that I had to talk to and just was like, don't give me your opinion, back me, and that's it. Like, because you don't know how to recognize it. And that's what works for me. But honestly, guys, if I can meet with a therapist every day just to have that girl chat and somebody to just talk to, not every day, but like if something happens, I want to be able to just, and I could be able to like just schedule with her if I needed her, but at right now I keep it at a weekly kind of appointment thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it works, and I love having that person to just be able to talk to like check my thinking, because like like again, it's somebody who's middle bad.
Okay. But don't you also, because we all have it in us, and I'm for therapy. If someone needs therapy, they should. I don't think it's that's a great tool to have, and someone, but we also have our this. I know that I listen to it a lot, my inner voice. There's this part of you, that, because I talked about it yesterday, that we're in battle with. There's like two sides, and you're battling. These two sides are always battling, you know some people say, in movies they say good over evil. I don't believe in that. um and I just think that that inner voice, that inner spirit, is also another tool for you to utilize to heal as well. You know what I'm saying? So you also have to utilize that inner spirit, um you know because yeah, it's good to go to therapy and get that balance, but you also have to align your spirit as well, your inner self, to heal, Shawnee. So I don't know if you utilize your inner spirit.
It's a lot of moving part, guys. So I'm Christian. Um, I've always been Christian. I didn't turn Christian overnight. Um, and I have my own relationship with God. um, you know, praying, praying and having those spiritual conversations is not the same as therapy.
Okay.
But it does help. Most times they tell you to find a closet or somewhere dark where you can actually, be well, like indulging in like your session and whatever that you're doing when you are praying. Um, but I would say that a therapist is external, and I would say that God is internal. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, so there's different methods, guys. It's not just you go talk to a therapist and that's it. Like a therapist can't help you be a better person, and can't, I mean, they can,
That's
but
where
it's
I'm
not,
going with that.
yeah, it's not just therapy. Like it's more than just therapy. Like it's a lot of like even books you can read. Like I picked up 2 books yesterday. Um, this is one,
How to Do the Work by Dr. Nicole LaPera. Okay.
and recognize your patterns, heal from your past, create yourself. And then
Awesome.
there's another book.
Codependent No More: How to Stop Controlling Others and Start Caring for Yourself. Self Love. Melody Beatty.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, I bought books, right? Because like a therapist, yeah, that's cool talking to a therapist, but I need to be able to read stuff and actually get material that I can actually read and maybe like take down my own notes and make sense out of things that I need to make sense out of, because I'm just on a whole growth for myself. Like one of the conversations I told a friend, one of my friends in Ghana rather, was that like I think Wave, I told you the other day, excuse me, I think it was yesterday I told you I had a screaming match the day before with a friend.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I told you I took a nap and I woke up and I felt better. And I said, and I told my friend in Ghana that, you know what? No one can ever get me to that level again. And because, I woke up and I told myself, you have to start removing people before they can get you to that level. You have to start getting rid of these people who you've kept giving chances to continuously. You have to start
Mhm.
getting rid of these people, because if I had gotten rid of this person earlier, I wouldn't have been screaming on the top of my voice and lost my voice 2 days
Yes.
ago.
And we also spoke about, I think, a lot of times, not only removing people, but we also have to accept people for who they are. Once they show you who they are, that's who they are, and I also talked about detaching their negativity from you. Do not take on people's stress, their problems and everything, and incorporating it into your life, because sometimes we sit around and we take on people. Some, like we made the example yesterday about the hair and everything like that. Someone might tell you something, oh, your nose is too big, right? But it's
Mhm.
not necessarily about you. And I say this all the time, it's not about you. Yes, they're saying it to you, but indirectly, it is something that is about them, you know? How they feel about people with big nose. Maybe somebody in their family has a big nose. Maybe they were teased about having a big nose, and internally they're not healed. So every time they see somebody and they have a big nose or whatever, they they bully that person, or they have been bullied themselves. So now they have turned into, they used to be the victim, now they turn into the bully, you know but
Mhm.
indirectly it's about them. And that's why I said yesterday, it's not my business, it's their business. Yes, it's not their business. So we need to stop getting worked up. Even myself, I say it, because Shawnee, I'm going through the same thing. I have stopped taking on people's negativity, their baggage, their garbage, all of that. I have my own stuff to deal with, and I have a beautiful soul. You know, every day I'm realizing so many things about myself. I'm beautiful. I have a beautiful soul. I have a loving heart. And, I need to work on those things, my passion, my purpose, those things, these things, these are just like roadblocks people are just putting in your path, and you have to learn how to, remember the black hole. You got to learn how to get around the black hole and don't fall into it. It's
Mhm.
like falling into a trap. So we have to stop falling into those traps with people wasting your time, your voice, your energy, because that time that you spent shouting and this and that, guess what you could have been doing? Reading the next chapter in those books. Okay? And getting the growth and the healing that you need.
Well, I mean, those books I got yesterday, but
Yeah. But I'm just saying,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm just saying we could do so much more things, like constructive things, building on ourselves and doing so many great things, than wasting our precious, precious moments with people that don't deserve it at all. I was reading something where this guy said, I don't have time for anyone to waste my time, because I don't even know how much time I got left, on this
Mhm.
earth. So why give people your energy and your time? It doesn't make any sense. Stop working up yourself, because when you work up yourself, you're making yourself stressful. Um, you're bringing up your blood pressure. You're damaging so many things internally. And when I spoke
Sure are.
about spiritual thing, where I am in terms of spirituality, is that I personally, I grew up in the Catholic Church and all of that. I know about Christianity, but I pulled myself away from that. And let me tell you, I'm not telling anybody to do whatever they want to do. I pulled myself away from religion, but I did not pull myself away from the Creator, because the Creator created you. You are a part of the Creator, and the God is in you. Okay, and nobody else can take that away from you. So, um, like Shawnee said, when you're doing therapy, it's, therapy is one part of it, and that's the external part of it, because it's someone listening to you from the outside. But the internal self is where we need to heal, and where we need to get to know, because that is the true you, your internal self. And we are sometimes in battle because of the external and the internal, because the external is telling us, hey, you need to have the American dream, you need to have billions of dollars, you need to own this, you need to do this. But at the end of it, we cannot take these things with us. The only thing you can take with you is self. And that is the internal part of you, which is your spiritual self, you know? And that is what we have to know. So we have to find self-love, self-care, take care of ourselves. And then we can be a service of you of humanity, and spread love. you know we can only show people love, because that's the whole thing at the end of it. All this harassing yourself, oh, I gotta get a pair of Jordans, I gotta do this. Yes, it's all good if you can treat yourself, if you can eat a steak, it's okay. But
Right.
at the end of it, the most important thing is that internal love for yourself, you know and stuff. So I just, that's just my whole take on it. I'm not big on religion, because I think taking care of my spiritual self and having that relationship with the Creator, um, is so, so, so important. You know, I don't have to go to a building, to say that, I believe in the Creator, because the Creator is in me. He created me. And one of the things that we have to remember, if he created you, he is you, and you are him. I am. Okay? So I am him and he is me. You know what I'm saying? So we have to find ourselves. We really, really do. Yes. House of X, happy Sunday. How are you this morning? Guys, please connect with House of X. Please say good morning. Yeah. No, we're not in church. Yes, people is the church. Yes. It's something that is internal. We don't need no fancy building. We don't need no man telling us who God is. God is in you. He's in you. He or she. We don't know what God looks like, but the spirit is in you. He created you. And I just, that's just my opinion. Everyone has their take on their beliefs, and I respect that. I respect it so much. As long as you can find your path and who you are and what you want to do with your life, it's okay. Just be you. Be free.
Yep.
You know? Don't allow people. There are gonna be some people, they're not gonna be on your level, because guess what? They're not there yet. There are people that, you know, I'm not on their level yet. So I can't identify with them yet. but I'm getting there. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. And that's what you have to do. Don't be fearful. Don't be fearful. Okay? If you fail, get up and just keep going. Life is a process, you know? You can't go through life in one day. You can't change in one day, you know? These
But you
things,
can work towards it every single day. I'm telling you,
yeah.
if you pray, pray. If you want to go to therapy, go. Um, you don't know if you won't like it unless you go. If you want to read books on how to make your life better, do it. Remove people that you need to remove, and I'm telling you, it's been working for me. Because again, guys, like I said, if you know this person is gonna make you angry, or this person is gonna do something that you don't like, or they continuously do it, cut them off. Because you're every time you talk to this person, because you know what to expect, you're always gonna be upset. Like, I to me, again, like I said, I'm just on this journey of not dealing with people I don't want to deal with anymore, cutting them off before they get me to a certain place. Um, because one thing, people will do things to you and then victimize themselves. I
Yeah,
see it
it
all the
happens.
time. I see it all the time, guys. Like, people will play victim after they did something to you. That's a manipulator. That's a narcissist. Um, yeah, and like Wave said, I'm such a nice person. Like, I will do anything for someone. I will really try to be kind to someone, like caring. I really try my hardest to like be there for people and actually like, you
Yeah,
know,
because that's who you are. And I remember one year, right? Not to cut you off. I remember one year in it was like December 31st, and it was going into January 1st. And I have a very good friend in Fort Lauderdale. And one of the things that we promised ourselves that we were going to tell people no, because we were so bombarded by so many requests, different people wanting things, because we are doing charity, right? But we
mhm.
never charged anything. We just did it from the goodness of our heart. And, we just got tired because people were just taking advantage of us. And we decided that we were going to say no. Anytime someone asked us that year, we were going to say no. The year rolled around, we said a couple no's, and that maybe a couple months later, it turned into yes. I realized at that moment, me and my friend, that, you know, that was our calling, that was our passion, that was our purpose, you know, regardless of how people took advantage of us. That's on them. That's their business. You
Mhm.
understand? They have to deal with themselves. But we are not going to cut our calling short because people are being vindictive, people are not being upright, or whatever. You know, we still had we're still on our path to do the right things and to help people who really needed help. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, yes, people might be mean, Shawnee, all that stuff, but like I repeat, it's not about you personally. That's who they are. Yes, you can see them. Hey, hello, how you doing? Everything okay? Fine. And that's it. That's a way of removing yourself, but still staying cordial. You know. So
Guys, one
yeah,
thing about this girl, she gonna cut you off,
yeah,
okay?
I know. I can do that too. But what I'm learning is that you can still be cordial. It's not that you call the person or anything. You might see them at the grocery store. Hey, long time, haven't have seen you. How you doing? How's the kids? How's everyone? Fine. And you're done. You understand? You can remove people in a way
That's
that,
one way to do it.
yeah, but the thing about it is, to me, when you're harshly removing someone out of your life, to me, it's still you're still carrying on their negativity. It's still attached to you, in a sense. You have removed the physical part of it, but you have not removed the internal part of it. That means you're still going to think about it, you're still going to talk about it. So you need to remove the internal and say, you know what? This person was in my life for, think about the good things, the reason why, what you got out of the relationship, in terms like, okay, when this was happening, that person was there for me, and don't think about the negative. So then, so you can leave that relationship in a peaceful way. You understand? So you don't have to think about whatever that happened. It's on them. It's on them because they're the ones that, are creating this havoc, and you don't want this havoc to follow you. That's just my little, insight on it, and I have removed people from my life, but guess what happens? I also brought, in removing the people, I still brought in the negativity with me. So every time I think about that person, I'm like, damn, that person was trifling, da 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 da. So I had to go in and clean that stuff up. I had to take out all that negativity out and leave it where it needs to be, in the garbage with them. Yes, that's where I needed to be. Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm just at a place now where I'm removing. I don't have
Yes.
I'm not gonna keep nobody in the background no more. I'll say hi. Nope, I'm not doing that no more. I'm
Yeah.
just
Well,
I'm
handle it.
done. I'm done,
Yes.
and that's it. And it's time.
Yes.
These are people that I should have cut off years ago.
Yeah.
Like you see, years. I didn't say months or weeks. Years. They should have been cut off years ago, and I kept dealing with stuff, and I'll never go back down that road again.
I used to hear older people say, when you reach about 40 years old, you're not going to have many friends. You're going to be able to count them on your one single hand or your both hands. And do you know that's absolutely true?
Yeah.
Because when I got into my late 30s, going into my 40s, I started evaluating people. And just like you, I removed them. But now I have removed them, I also find internally that sometimes I will have days where I'm thinking about, I remember that person, me and them used to be friends, and this happened, and blah, blah, blah. So I did not remove them internally out of my life, all the garbage. So now I'm removing the garbage. Yes,
Yeah.
because I just, um, I just stopped, like, bam, you're out of my life. And that was it. But I did not remove them completely out of my life, because they're still thoughts. Like I tell people, your brain is your computer, you know? It absorbs things, and it also keeps a record of things. So we have to be kind of careful on what we, attach to our brains.
Good
Yeah.
morning, Baz or Baz.
Yeah. Um, I've never seen Baz before, but welcome to Love to Travel with Wade. Thank you for
I've
coming.
never seen them either.
Yeah. But that's how it has to be, and I understand perfectly. There are just some people, they create havoc in your life. You don't need them around. You know what I'm saying?
Some
Because,
people you should have been cut off, guys. I'm telling you, like,
like, years ago, I'm telling you, I'm 55 years old. And when I look at it, I say, Lord Jesus, I waste so much years with the, but then you know what? I look at it as an experience, you know, and I am not falling in that dark hole anymore. Absolutely not. Why do you have your finger? Yeah, so that is, yeah, so sometimes you have to do that. Yeah, you got to clean house. It's like spring cleaning. Yes, you got to do it. Yeah.
this is making it even more blurry.
Or your camera?
I was trying to clean it, but now it looks worse.
No, you look fine.
I don't know.
Yeah, it has more light now. Yeah. Yeah, so, I'm glad we sat down and kind of talk about therapy and all that stuff. At my job, they do provide it. You know, a lot of times when people experience like family members passing and stuff, our counselors come to
Morning,
the
Edna.
job and everything. Edna's World, good morning. How are you? What part of the world are you at this morning? Yes. Yeah, so a lot of times, we do need a little therapy. We do need a little intervention, like they would say. Someone
Mm-hmm.
who's not close to us, because our family members, yes, they can be harsh. Our friends can be harsh. They call it tough love, but sometimes it does a lot of harm to people. Sometimes they don't want to hear your opinion. They just want to listen. They want you to listen. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they just want someone to listen. Yeah. And then maybe you can, say, "Hey, Shawnee, I listened to everything that you said and everything like that." Just like I listened to her and I told her, like when you're removing people, you're removing them externally, but you need to remove them internally as well. So it's like you have to get rid of the entire garbage. You gotta dump the whole thing.
That's
Yes.
true, guys.
So, but I'm going to make me a cup of tea. Yes. I think I'll drink coffee this morning. Yes. What are you having, Shawnee?
I have no idea. Right now, I want to have more sleep. That's what I want.
Okay, so sleep it is. Yeah.
um,
I'm sorry that you had a long night.
Listen,
Yeah.
wait. It was just so long, Wave. Do you know what time I could put the food in the fridge? Like one, I think it was 1:30 a.m. I
So
was able to put like
what
by
did
the
you cook?
time. So I made just regular white rice, but then I made So last night, I wanted stew chicken, and then I wanted curry chicken.
Wow.
Didn't make neither.
So you had bully beef?
No, I made chicken, but it started off. It became spicy chicken. I don't know how I got there from curry and stew chicken. It became spicy chicken, and then I had some lo mein noodles, like the Guyanese lo mein noodles. And then I was like, okay, let me boil some noodles and throw it in there. I made some like spicy chicken stir fry. Girl, when I say
And
one
and
week of
what
tiredness,
and what time did you eat though? That's a late night.
Dave, late.
Yeah, wow.
I even felt sick at one point because it was so late, and but I was so hungry, and then I was just it was not a good night. It was not a
Yeah,
good
because
night.
if you go and eat all that pepper late at night, that's going to work your stomach. All
Oh,
kind of
it found its way back out. It's too much information, but like I just had a long night, Wave. It was just too much, and that's why I said I deleted the message I sent you because I said no, I'm not supposed to go see this message and still. And I said no, I can't manage the live, and it was just a long night, and then I tried to go to sleep, and I had to stay up a bit just to get the pot in the fridge, so I didn't make it stay out all night.
yeah, I know those moments like when you cook and sometimes you might fall asleep and the food stay on the stove and you wake up in the morning, the food's still there. But sometimes, I think there's a certain amount of hours that you can keep the food out.
And if it's not hot, but it was hot
Yes.
in here last night, so I had to make sure it just cooled down, and I was able to put it in the
Yeah,
fridge.
because you
But
can't put that hot food in the refrigerator.
no,
No, that's not good at all. Especially at that temperature. You can't do that.
so God, it
Yeah.
was just a long night. Okay, like it was a really long night, and then I was finally able to drop asleep. It only felt like I got about 4, 5, 6 hours.
Okay.
So I don't even know if I want to eat something right now or if I just want to lay back down.
Well, at least it's Sunday. You can relax a little bit. Actually, I'm going to make me some tea and make some breakfast and figure out what we're gonna eat for Sunday dinner today or lunch/dinner. And so,
Last week I had made fish for Sunday dinner.
wow, I
I
love
made
fish.
red snap. No, not red snapper. The red snapper never looked good at the market, but I picked up some yellowtail snapper.
Okay,
I
so
had
when
made that last
so
week.
you don't go and do your food haul and all of that, or do you just cook whatever comes to mind, then you go to the grocery store, then you pick it up, or is that how you work?
Both. Like if chicken, I eat chicken, right? Obviously. If chicken is on sale, I'll pick up a bunch of pack of like the chicken that I like. Purdue, I'll pick up like a bunch of the pack of chicken just so I have it here. But every time I want to cook something, I have to go buy whatever it is because what if it's whatever I have in the house is not what I feel for? So I've said that to my sister before that like I just go to the supermarket probably a couple of times a week because I can't just have stuff sitting in here because I will not want any of it. So like I have to just go pick up what I would want.
Do you eat leftovers?
Yeah.
Okay, because my
The food
mom
I
is
made
like,
last night, I'll eat it today and I'll probably eat it again tomorrow and that's it.
yeah, my mom, she doesn't like leftovers. My mom is someone like she cooks today, she doesn't want the food the next day. She's like that.
There's a lot of people that's like that. And I'm like,
Yeah,
no, y'all have
yeah. I'm
that she
like,
has to cook small portions in.
she don't know how to cook small portions. She cook like the whole neighborhood coming over. But
Yeah.
to me, that's waste of food. Sometimes I have to tell her, no, we're gonna eat this food because you can't have food sitting in the fridge, good food, and then you're saying, oh, I don't feel like eating chicken. I don't feel like eating fish. But let me tell you, food is very boring. I am sorry to say that.
It
Uh,
is.
yeah, I love food, but it's like how many pieces of fish can you eat? How much vegetables can you eat? How much da, 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 da.
Mhm.
You turn it around, you stir fry it, you this, you that. I mean, it can get boring, and I understand how she feels. But the thing is, you cannot waste food. I mean, if you cook a big pot of rice, you cook some chicken, you cook fish and stuff like that. You can, do like sometimes when I do white rice, I would the next day I will take it and I will stir fry it, look like maybe do a shrimp fried rice or
Yeah, that's
something,
nice.
or a vegetable fried rice, and then serve it with the stewed chicken or whatever. Because you can't waste food. You gotta find innovative ways to recreate these dishes. Absolutely, yes. So we've been on here for like an hour and 40 minutes, and Shani needs more of her beauty sleep, of course.
So tired.
She had a long night, and I think you should just have a nice, wonderful cup of tea and then lay down and just relax. Maybe curl up with your book, and then later on get up and cook you something for Sunday. Yes, that would be great.
Wave said curl up with my book. Wave, that's what I did yesterday. I started reading a book and drop asleep.
Yes, continue reading. Continue reading. Yes. I love the titles of those books. Yes,
Thank
they
you.
sound pretty good. Yes. I used to read a lot of self made books, a lot of self love books back in the day. Just, I used to do that a lot. And I learned so much, you know. There's a lot of great information, people sharing their experiences, and sometimes like Shani say, you can take notes, and there are things that you can relate to, that can change, your insight of yourself, you know. Yeah. So, guys, I just want to thank everyone for coming here and love to travel with Wave. Always, as always, we have a great time with you. House of X, Edna's World, Steve Gilmore, Rochelle, thank you so much. All right, guys, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Big Daddy, what you do? I'm doing good, Big Daddy. How are you? Anisha, thank you for popping in before work. Miss V, thank you so much for sharing your story, about therapy and, your whole experience with therapy. It was very beneficial. Ben, thank you so much for coming in as well. We really, really enjoyed you this morning. And also, I was on SA's live this morning. I had a good time. I didn't understand everything they were saying in their language, but they are warm people. Also, we had a new subscriber on, Sahira. She is from Pakistan. Very lovely young lady. If you scroll up, you might find her name in here. She was here this morning. This is her. You can go on over to her channel, connect with her, just to get the vibe of what it's like in Pakistan. I like to do that, connect with other people around the world. So you've been tuned in to Love to Travel with Wave. It was a pleasure, pleasure, pleasure having you. All right. Have a great, great evening, morning, wherever you are. And make sure you share this live. And after the live, please, I'm stretching, guys. After the live, please drop a comment. Want to hear from you. Tell us what you think about Love to Travel, these lives we're doing, these topics and everything. Go on over to our community tab. We have lots of information. And you can also connect with other YouTubers, other content creators. All right. Take care. Have a wonderful Sunday. Later, Shawnee.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Wave.
All right. Later.